When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you may have asked yourself, how can I communicate more effectively? Or why don't they understand my feelings? But there's an important truth you need to know. There are certain things you should never say in this type of relationship. You see, some statements can unintentionally put you in a difficult position, wasting not only your time but also trapping you in a vicious cycle. In this video, we'll explore 7 things you should absolutely avoid saying to a narcissist. These insights will not only help you protect yourself from emotional harm, but also provide clarity on how to navigate challenging situations in this relationship. I understand how you feel, the urge to say these things to defend yourself, to express your feelings, or to seek mutual understanding. I've been there too. But remember, saying these things doesn't just fail to help. Sometimes it pulls you deeper into the trap. Get ready to uncover these 7 critical points. And at the end of the video, I'll share why these things can keep you stuck in an unhealthy relationship. Are you ready? The first rule, labeling the narcissist a mistake that turns you into the victim. The first thing you must remember, never label them. Not as a narcissist, a psychopath, or even as someone with personality disorder. Labeling them not only brings no benefit but also puts you at a disadvantage. If you've ever thought about doing this, or even tried, let me emphasize again, it won't help you. I understand how you feel. The moment you connect all the signs, recognize their manipulative tactics, and see through the insecurities behind their charming facade, it feels like you've finally uncovered the truth. You want to confront them, to declare, I know who you are. You want to expose them, not just to themselves but to the world. But stop. Don't do it. Why? Because calling them a narcissist will only make the situation worse. And here are 2 main reasons why. Reason number 1, labeling them is not a magic spell that will change everything. They're not witches who will vanish upon hearing the right incantation. Instead, they'll seize this as an opportunity to manipulate you further. They'll deflect, shift blame, and worse yet, make you doubt yourself. Before you know it, you might even be convinced that you're the narcissist, cruel or disloyal. Reason number 2, labeling them doesn't just provoke their reaction, it also activates those around them. Their supporters will quickly turn against you, painting you as the bad guy for being judgmental or unsympathetic. To them, the narcissist is just someone going through a rough time, and you're the one who lacks patience or kindness. As a result, you end up not only battling the narcissist but also an entire system defending them. Instead of labeling, your true strength lies in understanding who they are without saying it aloud. This allows you to focus on protecting yourself, developing effective coping strategies, and gradually breaking free from the cycle of self-blame. Silence is not weakness, it's a sign of control and power. Remember, you don't need to expose them to win. Intelligent silence can help you climb out of the dry well they've intentionally pushed you into. Liberation begins by keeping that truth to yourself. The second rule, never tell them they are manipulating you. If you're considering telling a narcissist that they're manipulating you, stop. While it might seem similar to labeling them, this mistake is even more dangerous. The truth is, no manipulator genuinely believes they are manipulating. Narcissists often live in a self-constructed world where they believe their actions are entirely justified. They think they're communicating clearly, entitled to control, and free from accountability for the consequences of their behavior. In their minds, they are always right. So pointing out their manipulation not only doesn't help but can actually worsen the situation. What is manipulation? It's not a misunderstanding, a difference of opinion, or a simple lie. It's a deliberate tactic to disorient you, overwhelm your emotions, and keep you in a subordinate position in the relationship. This is not accidental, it's how they maintain their power. What happens when you tell them they're manipulating you? They won't stop or feel remorse. Instead, they'll use your accusation to manipulate you further. They might twist the narrative to make you doubt yourself. Or worse, they might employ their ultimate psychological weapon, threatening to leave you. If you're ready to leave the relationship, this threat may not shake you. But if you're still caught in a trauma bond, it can hit you hard emotionally, making it even harder to break free. Recognizing that you're being manipulated doesn't automatically mean you're ready to end the relationship. So what should you do? The key is not to confront or criticize them, but to safeguard your perception and your truth. Understand that you're being manipulated so you can resist getting caught in their cycle. Stand firm, protect your reality, and most importantly, refuse to play their game. Remember, pointing out their manipulation won't make them change. On the contrary, it only fuels their power. Your true strength lies in your silence, your clarity, and your determination to break free from the trap they've set for you. The third rule: never tell them they can't change. If you think telling a narcissist they can't change will motivate them to prove you wrong, think again. Narcissists don't react the way you might expect. They are inherently oppositional, resisting anything that threatens their autonomy or ego. When you tell them they can't change, they won't see it as a challenge to improve. Instead, they'll perceive it as an attack, and their response will be aimed at maintaining control, not genuine transformation. Even if they decide to prove you wrong, it will be superficial. They might ask, "What do you think I need to change?" When you list things like "stop manipulating me," "stop lying," or "treat me with respect," their initial reaction may be denial or even mockery. You're too sensitive. However, to keep their power, they might make some superficial changes. They may suddenly act kind, show you their phone to prove they're not hiding anything, or perform small tasks like cleaning the house in an exaggerated manner. At first, these actions might seem like genuine efforts, but they're not driven by heartfelt realization or self-awareness. They are part of a performance designed to confuse you, make you doubt yourself, and most importantly, keep you in the relationship. They might even agree to therapy not because they want to improve, but because they know it will plant hope in you. This is a classic tactic of future faking. They create the illusion of change without any intention of making it real. Instead, they maintain control by keeping you clinging to an idealized future that will never materialize. When faced with these surface-level changes, you might start questioning yourself. Maybe they're really trying. But the truth is, their actions are not about repairing the relationship or addressing the harm they've caused. They don't take responsibility, they don't self-reflect. And what you're seeing is a calculated performance meant to prolong the relationship on their terms. Narcissists are capable of controlling their behavior more than you think, but their changes are often designed to manipulate your emotions. If change doesn't stem from deep self-awareness or a genuine desire to take responsibility, it's not change, it's a trap. And if it keeps you in the relationship, you've fallen into their cycle once again. Remember, telling a narcissist they can't change won't prompt transformation. On the contrary, it gives them more power to manipulate you. Instead of challenging them, focus on protecting yourself. Real change cannot be forced, and the only thing you can control is removing yourself from the toxic cycle they've created. The fourth rule: never tell a narcissist that you don't forgive them. Stop yourself before doing this, not just with a narcissist, but with anyone you feel you can't forgive. Society is so obsessed with the concept of forgiveness that we often criticize those who don't forgive instead of focusing on the wrongdoer's actions. We admire inspiring stories of forgiveness, like a parent forgiving a drunk driver who caused their child's death. But these are personal journeys, not universal standards. Forgiveness is a deeply personal decision and not a prerequisite for healing. In a relationship with a narcissist, forgiveness often leads to negative outcomes. Forgiving them becomes a free pass for them to continue their bad behavior. They don't see forgiveness as a chance to make amends, but as proof that they can do whatever they want without accountability. Each time you forgive, you might feel foolish and blame yourself, while they sink further into their toxic patterns. On the flip side, telling them outright, "I don't forgive you," also backfires. They won't feel remorse or recognize the need to change to earn your forgiveness. Instead, they'll use this as leverage to paint you as the villain. They might call you cold, selfish, petty, or even flip the narrative and call you the narcissist. They may ignore you or, worse, rally others against you, making you the target of criticism. No one needs to know that you don't forgive them. Refusing to forgive a narcissist doesn't make you bitter or petty. On the contrary, it allows you to maintain clarity about the reality of the relationship. It helps you acknowledge that they haven't changed and that forgiveness would only expose you to further harm. Forgiveness is not a prerequisite for healing. You don't have to extend forgiveness to someone who doesn't understand or respect its value. Instead, focus on building boundaries and protecting yourself from further harm. Forgiveness, if it comes, should only happen when you're ready, and that decision is entirely yours. The fifth rule: never tell a narcissist they're hurting you. When you're suffering from a narcissist's behavior, you might think telling them you're hurting me will make them realize their mistake and change. But with a narcissist, your pain isn't something they genuinely care about, at least not in the way you hope. Narcissists don't view your emotions as a meaningful part of the relationship. They lack empathy, and instead of recognizing their behavior as harmful, they often see your feelings as weakness, an opportunity to manipulate, or an inconvenience. When you admit your pain, they are unlikely to understand. Instead, they might use it against you. Rather than responding with remorse or understanding, they might mock you. "You're too sensitive," or "I didn't do anything wrong, you're overreacting." They may also use your emotions to strengthen their control, making you doubt yourself or even blaming you for their actions. Worse still, when you reveal your pain, you unintentionally provide them with more tools to manipulate you. They learn where your vulnerabilities lie and may repeat the same hurtful behaviors, not because they don't understand your pain, but because they know it effectively keeps you under their control. Remember, your suffering won't prompt a narcissist to change. They won't see your pain as a reason to adjust their behavior. Instead, they may ignore, mock, or weaponize it to manipulate you further. The key isn't making them understand they've hurt you. It's understanding for yourself that they are unwilling or incapable of changing their behavior. Hold onto your pain as a reminder of the reality of the relationship, rather than hoping for their empathy. You don't need to convince a narcissist they're wrong. Healing begins with realizing you don't need their acknowledgement to move forward. Your true power lies in protecting your emotions, setting boundaries, and stepping away from the manipulative cycle they've created. The sixth rule: never tell a narcissist they need help. You might believe pointing out that a narcissist needs help, whether from a therapist or someone they trust, will make them recognize their issues. But this path is fraught with risks and often leads nowhere with a narcissist. Narcissists don't see themselves as needing help. They believe they're always right, always in control, and if there's a problem, it lies with you or the world, not them. Telling them they need help won't lead to self-reflection. They'll perceive it as an attack instead. Their typical response might be to mock you. "I don't have any problems, maybe you need therapy." Or they might dismiss your suggestion as controlling, judgmental, or petty. In the worst cases, they might retaliate with anger, escalating the conflict. Even if they agree to seek help, it's rarely for genuine reasons. They may attend therapy sessions not to address their issues, but to prove they don't have any problems or to bolster their image in your eyes and others. Instead of using therapy as a tool for growth, they turn it into a stage to defend themselves or even manipulate further. When you suggest they need help, you're not only met with denial but might also unintentionally give them more power in the relationship. They can twist your words to make you the problem or accuse you of lacking love or acceptance for them as they are. Real change, if it happens, must come from their internal desire, not your suggestion or pressure. Pointing out they need help won't deepen their self-awareness. It will only strengthen the walls they've built around themselves. Let them face their reality on their own. You're not responsible for healing or fixing them. Instead, focus on protecting yourself, redirecting your energy from trying to change them to rebuilding your own safety and balance. True freedom starts when you let go of the idea that you can change someone who isn't willing to change. The seventh rule: never tell a narcissist they've disappointed you. In healthy relationships, expressing disappointment can lead to honest conversations and improvements. But with a narcissist, it becomes another opportunity for manipulation or a chance to fiercely protect their ego. Narcissists don't see your disappointment as a problem to solve. They don't ask, "What did I do wrong? How can I fix this?" Instead, they perceive your words as a threat to their carefully crafted image. Their reaction might involve denial, deflecting blame, or even attacking you to protect themselves. If you say, "You've disappointed me," they might mock you, call you demanding, or argue, "You're never satisfied, no one can make you happy." They may blame your high expectations or even assign you negative traits to justify their behavior. Worse, they could use your disappointment to manipulate your emotions further. They might feign empathy briefly, only to later use the information to make you feel guilty or doubt yourself. Alternatively, they may involve others, portraying you as the bad guy for being unfair or ungrateful. The truth is, your disappointment won't change a narcissist. Instead of acknowledging their faults, they will protect their fragile ego by attacking or manipulating you further. What you need isn't to convince them of their wrongdoing, but to realize they cannot meet your emotional needs. Narcissists lack the empathy, sincerity, and genuine effort required to make you feel valued and heard. Let your disappointment serve as a reminder, not an accusation. It reminds you that you're in an imbalanced relationship where your needs and feelings are disregarded. Instead of expecting change from them, focus on self-care, rebuilding your self-esteem, and letting go of unrealistic expectations. True strength lies in refusing to let them control your emotions. By doing so, you regain control over your life and open the door to a better future where you are respected and loved as you deserve. Being in a relationship with a narcissist is an emotional whirlwind cycling between hope and disappointment, pain and relentless efforts to change them. But the heartbreaking truth is this: you cannot change someone who is unwilling to change. The things you say, the energy you pour in, won't awaken them or alter their behavior. Instead, it leaves you drained, like trying to fill a bottomless well. This video isn't here to criticize you, but to remind you that true strength lies in reclaiming control over your emotions and your life. Stop seeking validation from them. Stop waiting for empathy. And most importantly, stop wasting your precious energy trying to convince them of truths they're unwilling to accept. Instead of focusing on making them understand, focus on yourself. Protect your reality, stand firm in your values, and rebuild your strength from within. Remember, you don't need to say everything to prove your worth. Sometimes, silence and the decision to walk away are the clearest and most powerful statements you can make. You deserve a healthy relationship where you're heard, respected, and genuinely loved. Use the awareness you've gained from this video to free yourself from the cycle of pain. Your life, your happiness, and your healing, all of it is in your hands. Thank you for watching until the end. If this video has helped you, feel free to leave a comment or share your thoughts. And don't forget, you're not alone. You always have the strength to change the path you choose.